Have you ever wondered what a woman really does when she hasn't felt closeness or intimacy in a long time? Curious. Today, I'm revealing 5 subtle signals that show exactly how she signals desire, and the last one could completely change how you're seen in her eyes. Welcome to the Female Psyche, where we dive deep into the hidden behaviors, thoughts, and emotions that reveal what women really feel. Excited. Today, we're exploring 5 subtle signs a woman shows when she's craving intimacy and how you can understand them. Today, I want to share 5 changes in behavior that often show up when a woman has gone a long time without real intimacy. And listen closely because the last sign is the most powerful one. Curious. It's the signal that often separates the men who stay in the friend zone from the men she truly begins to desire. Let's start with the first sign. The first shift is that touch becomes a quiet way of communicating. When a woman goes for a long time without genuine physical closeness, her body can experience something researchers sometimes describe as skin hunger. Thoughtful. It's a natural biological response. Human skin is filled with receptors that respond to warmth and contact, which means the body can start craving simple, safe touch. Because of this, you may notice that she begins touching you more often. But these moments usually aren't random or careless. They tend to be subtle and almost instinctive. She might lightly place her hand on your arm when she laughs, gently adjust your collar even though it didn't need fixing, or allow her shoulder to brush yours while you're talking. And if you pay attention, those touches sometimes last a second longer than they normally would. Thoughtful. There's an unspoken message behind this. In many cases, she's quietly watching how you react. If you suddenly pull away or look uncomfortable, her mind may read that as rejection. But if you stay relaxed, smile naturally, and keep the interaction comfortable and warm, you show that you understand the moment without making it awkward. Satisfied. When that happens, you've successfully handled the first signal. Now let's talk about the second sign. She begins seeking emotional reassurance more often. Curious, when a woman isn't receiving meaningful attention or emotional engagement from a masculine presence in her life, it can create a subtle emotional gap. Thoughtful. This isn't necessarily about ego or validation. More often, it's about the human need to feel seen and understood. Because of that, she might start asking more personal or reflective questions. For example, she could say something like, "Do you think I handled that situation badly?" Or, "Am I being too intense about this?" On the surface, it sounds like she's asking for advice, but many times the deeper reason is that she wants to feel emotionally acknowledged. Pause. If you respond quickly with something dismissive like, "No, you're fine," the moment usually fades away with very little connection. But if you take a second and answer with thought and presence, the dynamic changes. Thoughtful. You might say something like, "Honestly, you seem like someone who feels things deeply, and that's actually rare these days." A response like that shows that you're paying attention to who she is, not just brushing off her feelings. That's where emotional attraction quietly starts building. Now, here's the third sign, and it's one that many men completely miss. Her body language begins to change slightly when she's around a man who carries calm, confident, masculine energy. Curious. During longer periods without intimacy, the emotional and instinctive parts of the brain can become more sensitive to potential attraction. It's almost like her awareness of chemistry becomes stronger. Thoughtful. Because of that, her body language may start revealing subtle signals without her even realizing it. You might notice that she holds eye contact a little longer. Her posture becomes more open when you're nearby. Sometimes she leans slightly closer during conversation or mirrors your movements without thinking about it. Curious. These are small shifts, but they often show that her mind and body are becoming more aware of the possibility of connection. The key thing to understand is that these behaviors usually aren't calculated or planned. They're often unconscious responses that happen when emotional curiosity and physical awareness begin to grow at the same time. Thoughtful. When you recognize these signals calmly and respond with genuine confidence instead of pressure, you naturally stand apart from the men who only remain in the role of just a friend. You might also notice that she starts adjusting her hair more often when you're around. Maybe she crosses and uncrosses her legs during conversation or slightly leans toward you even when there's space between you. Curious. These are small micro expressions that usually happen without conscious thought. A common mistake many men make is assuming these signals mean they should instantly escalate the situation. When that happens, it often creates pressure and pushes her away. Thoughtful. A wiser approach is simply to match her energy instead of overpowering it. If she leans in a little, you lean forward slightly as well. If she initiates a light touch, you respond naturally and respectfully rather than making it a big moment. Attraction often works like a quiet rhythm between two people. The man who understands that rhythm and gently moves with it without forcing control becomes someone she remembers deeply. Thoughtful. The fourth shift is that she may begin quietly testing your emotional stability. When a woman has spent a long time on her own, she usually develops emotional protection. Before letting someone step into her private world, she wants to see if that person can handle the real version of her, not just the polished version she shows publicly. Thoughtful. Because of this, she might open up about something personal and then carefully observe how you react. In some situations, she might even introduce a small disagreement or say something slightly challenging just to see how you handle it. Curious. It's less about conflict and more about measuring emotional maturity. This is where many men lose their balance. Some immediately try to fix her feelings as if they're solving a technical problem. Others become defensive or take the comment personally. Size. What she often appreciates most is a man who stays calm, listens without judgment, and remains emotionally steady. When you can hear her thoughts without reacting emotionally or trying to control the situation, it shows strength and maturity. Thoughtful. That kind of grounded presence can feel incredibly safe and attractive. Now we arrive at the fifth and most powerful sign. Curious. This one often changes everything. She begins creating small opportunities for closeness. When a woman wants connection but feels hesitant to express it directly, she may create situations where intimacy can grow naturally. Instead of openly saying she wants to spend time alone together, she may frame it in a comfortable and casual way. Thoughtful. She might say something like, "Can you help me with something at my place?" Or, "I don't really feel like watching this movie alone." Curious. These moments are often invitations for more personal interaction, but presented in a way that feels socially safe. This is where maturity truly separates different types of men. Thoughtful. An inexperienced man might walk into that situation expecting immediate romance or physical progression, but a confident and emotionally intelligent man understands that trust and comfort come first. Size. When you spend time together, the goal isn't to rush anything. Instead, you focus on enjoying the moment. You talk naturally, chuckles, you laugh together. You allow the energy between you to grow without pressure. And when she begins moving a little closer, which often happens when she feels safe, you stay calm and self-assured instead of appearing desperate or rushed. Today on The Female Psyche, we explored 5 signals that many men completely miss because they focus too much on trying to impress rather than truly understanding what's happening beneath the surface. But now you have a deeper awareness. And when you use that awareness with respect, patience, and emotional intelligence, it can completely change the way connections develop. Thoughtful. At the end of the day, both men and women are searching for the same thing, a genuine emotional bond that feels safe, natural, and meaningful. Stay connected with the Female Psyche for more conversations like this, where we continue exploring the subtle psychology behind attraction, communication, and emotional connection. Today, we uncovered 5 subtle signals that women give when they haven't experienced intimacy in a while. Signals many men completely miss because they focus too much on impressing rather than understanding. From quiet touches and emotional tests to creating opportunities for closeness, each sign reveals what she truly desires beneath the surface. The key is to respond with calm confidence, emotional presence, and respect, allowing connection to grow naturally. Thoughtful. Remember, genuine attraction isn't rushed. It's earned through understanding, patience, and authentic presence. Use these insights wisely, and you'll stand out as someone she feels safe, seen, and drawn to. Curious. Stay tuned to the female psyche for more tips on decoding subtle behaviors and building deeper, meaningful connections. If you enjoyed this insight, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the Female Psyche for more, and type connection in the comments to show you loved this content.